Hello, Internet. We are live at New York Comic Con 2018. We've been doing this for a while. This is day 2 of the show. We're very excited to be here. I'm Sean Bartley with the Comics Pals, and I am standing next to the legend himself. You know, I say those things just to see how you're going to react.
You know, like, okay, I don't know what I'm legendary for. That's the problem. It could be a lot of things.
Karaoke.
All right, I can take that.
Comics.
All right.
A cool costume.
It's pretty nice. I've actually only worn that costume in person 2 times.
Really?
Honest. We go way back. I would not lie to you about that.
I believe you.
You know, yeah, 2 times. I've only worn that 2 times.
Wow, I'm really surprised. You got to bring that back.
It's hard to talk to people like that, you know, and it becomes very, like, I didn't enjoy it, to be honest. I did it one time for a Halloween in-store signing for Halloween. I dressed as Dirk Manning for Halloween, and one other time. But, yeah, I mean, it's, you know, I'm warm enough in a suit, let alone with a hat and a scarf and glass. And it's hard to talk to people because you're like, let me tell you about my book, you know. So,
honestly, I don't know how you do it with the suit.
It's warm, you know. It's warm. It's warm in New York right now. You know, as you come in and we just make it work. So,
speaking of New York, we're at New York Comic Con, as I said. How many does this make for you?
I knew you'd ask that. I want to say this is my 4th New York, maybe or maybe not, including special edition.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it's my 4th New York. So yeah, but it's amazing. There's no show like this. There's no artist alley like this. You know, the work that Reed Pop, specifically Mike Nagan, does on this show. I mean, you look around and it's like, even just where I'm at right now, I look around at all these artists and stuff that are here, and I'm like, wow, I'm in this mix. You know, it's crazy to be at this level. You know, it's amazing. The best artist alley in the country, bar none.
That's high praise.
It is, and I do a lot of shows, you know, and yeah, it's the best artist alley in the country. It's pretty crazy. It's remarkable.
And I actually think it's even better, like, than last year. It gets better and better.
It does. You know, last year, you know, we lost the old building over there, so we came over here last year, and we were in a different hall last year, and it was very tight, very cramped. But I mean, this year, they've really recognized kind of what happened last year. There's better air conditioning. The aisles are wider. We're in a bigger room. And the thing that the Reed Pop shows do that's really cool, you know, your Emerald Cities, your C2E2s, your New Yorks, Keystone, they have a separate dedicated place for artists, and the audience learns, like, if you want to meet the creators, you go to that spot.
Right.
You know, and it's not ghettoized. It's more like, this is where we have, I mean, there's signs of artists, I think this is it. This is where you go meet the people that make the books. So it's a really neat model, and it's interesting to see this start to catch on at other shows where they're really drumming up almost a con experience within a con experience. You know, there's people that come to Artist Alley in New York and stay here for 4 days, and just, this is where they come. They don't go get Funko Pops. They don't go buy back issues. They maybe go see some publishers up there. Then they come down here and they just meet the creators and support our work. So,
yeah, it really is incredible to see, and it makes a unique opportunity for people like yourself to sell their books.
Well, we're right. You know, I mean, when you do creator-owned work, I mean, this is how you do a lot of your work. You grind it out. You go in, you meet people. People come back. Maybe they bought one book last year. They come back like, I want all of the rest of Nightmare World. I want all the rest of Tales of Mystery. And coming back every year and offering new work, which is what I'm able to do this year. I think I have 6 new books on my table that I didn't have here last year.
Yes.
It's good. It's a great opportunity.
Speaking of good, I want to talk about hope.
Oh, thank you. You should get Kaylin Smith, and we'll get the talent.
We sure will. Because I knew I wanted to read this book, but when you first previewed it, because it looked so different than what you've normally done.
Right.
Kaylin's art looked incredible. Everything looked really good. Yesterday when we came by, you said, don't look too far through the pages unless you're actually reading, because there's something here you're going to want to, you know, kind of take in fully. So I read the book, and I have to tell you, Dirk, you really, it's really impressive what you did. It's so different. It's so unique. And it's not just different for you, it's different for the market. Hope is a character that I was invested in and engaged with from the word go. And I think, I'm not a writer in that capacity, but I think it's really hard to do that in one issue. So can you talk a little bit about what went into the creation of this character, this world, and sort of what we can expect going forward?
Well, yeah, like you said, I mean, when you look at my table, you see mainly horror stuff. And then you see this book.
Yes.
And people say, oh, well, you're writing a superhero book. And it's like, no, I'm writing a book about a superhero, which is a very different type of thing. This is about a woman who she's a wife, she's a mother. She moonlights as a superhero. And the first couple pages of the first issue, something very dramatic happens that really changes the trajectory of her whole life. And it's funny because people look at it and say this really bright-looking book and like, oh my gosh, this is really a takeaway from Dirk Manning. I hope it still reads like a Dirk Manning book.
It does.
And in a lot of ways, Hope is the scariest book on my table in some ways, because it's about family and it's about things that can happen. And I don't want to give too much away, but I will say that very quickly in the first issue, her identity as an Ultra is outed. She gets outed. And what happens, the turmoil that starts to come from that, it's pretty profound. The first issue usually leaves people pretty decimated at the end, soul crushing.
Yeah.
Kaylin and I have talked at length about this. The second issue, we think, is even more emotionally devastating than the first issue.
How? What more can you do to me, Dirk?
Oh, well, Kaylin's involved in this too, but stay tuned, man. It's when you start thinking about the natural, logical progression of where this is going to go, now that her identity is out, now that the situation, which I'm not going to spoil, but has happened with her, it just is going to get progressively worse. And the hero's journey that she's going to be on is going to be a very, very trying one, and a lot of very there's a lot of unpleasantness in her future. So yeah, but it's we have the whole first story arc mapped out and things like that, and it's going to be good. But I'm excited. I'm excited about the reaction people have had to it so far. They're having the reaction I want, and that we want. So we're excited to move forward with it.
So you said in the aftermath of the book that you had been working on this or had the idea for a really long time, and that you wanted to find the right artist.
Yes.
So what made Kaylin Smith the right person to work on this book with you?
I auditioned more artists for Hope than any other book I've ever worked on ever. And I've been sitting on this book for many, 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 many years. I love Kaylin's style. She does the comic Plume, which is amazing. We have another surprise project that's going to be announced pretty soon here. Yeah. And I love her art style. And it was important to me to find someone that could help represent the tone and themes of the book. That's not subtext for I wanted a woman on the book about a woman. Right. But it was something that was definitely a factor in my mind about someone that can help bring the right tone to this book and the right perspective to the book. I write about characters that aren't me all the time. So that was kind of secondary, but that was there. But mainly her art is beautiful. I like her as a person. So when I talked to her about the first issue of the book, some podcast jealousy going on over there. What happened was I love you, Comic Pros and Cons. I love you, Elegant Weapon. What happened was when I gave her the first issue, it was already written. And I said, okay, what do you think of this? And we talked about it, and she really loved the script. And we talked a little bit more about it, and she goes, yeah, and what if X? And she brought up a plot point, and I was like, boom, that's it. So this is a book we're co-creating together. She's involved in the storytelling as well. I kind of know the big arc and the beats, but we're really developing it together. Because Kaylin, as well as being an artist, is a writer. She writes Plume as well. She had some really good ideas, and she just dropped something on there that really made it evident to me she was the one to do this book with. And Kaylin acts all really nice and innocent, but there's that dark undercurrent. You can see it. Look at that. She has the misfortune of tabling next to me all weekend. So no, but she's a very talented writer. And I'm afraid to turn my back now. I feel like I should do the interview this way. So when she dropped that little nugget of a story element, that was it. It was we were locked in. So
I can't wait to see where the book goes. I think this is one of the best books you've ever done.
Oh, wow,
I'm riveted from the word go, so I can't wait to see where it goes from here.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Now, you have other books out, right? I want to talk about Cthulhu Jr.
Yes.
This is equally as unique because, first of all, this is the first book in which, I mean, at least to my knowledge, you're kind of in.
Well, Dastardly Dirk, he wears a purple scarf.
Right.
I wear a black scarf. His is purple. So we're clearly very different people.
The funny thing about it, I mean, there's a lot of funny things about it. I laughed throughout the whole thing.
Good.
One of the funny things about it for me was that I think Dastardly Dirk kind of represents what people think you are. A basement-dwelling, demon-loving writer who wants to end the world.
That part's true. That's the true part. That's the part that's legit. No, yeah, it's funny because again, with Scoot McMahon, who's also here at the show, the same thing with that. I had the first issue developed, but I mean, this was a book that was very clearly up Scoot's alley. So when we entered into a co-creator partnership on this way to look at, I can't let Scoot own half of me. I like Scoot a lot, but he can't own me. He can't own Dirk Manning. So what we ended up doing was creating Dastardly Dirk, which I mean, and that way we can market him out and stuff like that. And I mean, obviously there's elements to me and everything I do, but Dastardly Dirk is his own separate entity. I mean, the look that Scoots gives him, and even like he's always, but yeah, it's fun, and it's an all ages book,
Yeah.
It was funny when Scoot started working on it. He goes, "Yeah, this isn't really like just a kid's book." And we had to kind of kept having this, we were having these dialogue about, well, I don't want to make a kid's book, which is a lot of stuff Scoot does is for kids, an all ages book. And a lot of people interchange the word all ages and kids. Those are two different things. This is a book that as adults we can read and laugh at. Kids will read it and laugh at it for a totally different reason.
Sure. And the other thing that I was sort of surprised by is that it has heart. It actually has a lot of heart. The character of Dastardly Dirk is nuanced and fun, but also there's a richness that made me go, "Aw."
Yeah. He's a wannabe supervillain, and
Right.
I don't know how villainous he really is at his core. I guess we're going to find out as the book goes on if he's going to go capture Cthulhu Jr. and give him to the League of Evil, or so that he can become a member and stuff like that. So yeah, but good. And it's going to be the same thing we're doing with this as we're doing with Hope. We released the first issue online. We released the first issue. And then our goal is within the year to have the whole book out, the whole first story arc.
Oh, that's awesome. And is that going to go on Kickstarter? Can we expect that at some point?
Stay tuned.
Okay. Fair enough.
I will say with Hope, March. Kickstarter for the whole book in March.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, thank you. We're very excited. So,
Speaking of Kickstarter,
yes.
you have something on Kickstarter right now.
As a matter of fact, I do. You can see by my very fancy sign, live now on Kickstarter with a bent Post-it note. No, this is a prototype of Mystery Surviving the Nightmare World, which is a asymmetrical tabletop card game. One person plays the heroes, everyone else plays the villains. It's just so much fun. And it really does tie pretty directly into the theme and the element of, hey, we're just talking about you, Scoot, come here. Oh, we just got done. This is the man behind Cthulhu Jr.
Hey, nice to meet you. Hey, I'm Scoot. Awesome.
I'm Scoot.
We were just talking about how what a nice job you did on Cthulhu Jr. representing Dastardly Dirk, who is totally not me.
Yeah, a totally original character. Actually, I think I had the idea for Dastardly Dirk, and then I met Dirk. It's just a coincidence. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah.
You just said I was kind of dastardly and they're a win, but
You were like a dream I had, and you were real. Yeah.
Scoot actually dreamed me into reality, is what it was. So he's like my god. So
I'll see
I'll
you.
cut you a bit, Scoot. He's a B4, so.
Thanks for joining us.
see, everyone thinks Scoot's the nice one. Now we know the truth. No, he's the dark overlord behind all this.
I think I'm more afraid of him than you.
The game. One person plays the hero characters. Everyone else plays the villains. And if you're the heroes, you can't win. You can only you achieve your goal by stopping the bad guys from winning.
Okay.
And that's how it works. And every bad guy has their own goal. So what happens is if you're one of the bad guys, each bad guy has a different win condition, and you have 6 rounds to meet your objective, despite the other villains trying to meet theirs, while the hero characters are trying to stop all of you at the same time from winning. So it's pretty exciting. All the art in the game, the box art was done by Kristen Perry, who did all the Nightmare World covers. All the art on all the cards is unique and original. All original Nightmare World and Tales of Mystery artists. So
cool.
the art, the game is worth it for the art alone. It's pretty remarkable.
Now, you offered us an opportunity to play test the game.
Yes.
A little later on,
which Greenbrier Games. Yep.
We have graciously accepted, so we'll be able to present that to you guys a little later. We'll have a link to that video below, so you can check that out as well.
Awesome.
We're going to let you guys know what we think of the game. We're so excited to play it. And I think it's cool because it's a departure. It's not a comic. It's getting to play with these characters who you know and love from the book.
Right. And there's a collector's edition version of the game that will have a bonus comic in there. Little figurine, all kinds of cool stuff. So it very much honors Nightmare World and Tales of Mystery.
Fantastic. Yeah, I'm really excited to play it. So, like I said, we'll get that to you guys a little later.
Right on, thank you.
Now, I want to ask you just 2 quick side questions.
All right, let's
before
do
we
it.
jump out of here.
All right, I'm
so
ready.
First of all, you're a big wrestling fan.
Yes.
I'm a big wrestling fan.
Yes.
There's been some big things that have happened over the last year. Did you watch All In? And if so, what did you think?
Oh God, absolutely. It was an amazing pay-per-view. Yeah, I think it helped. I think it's the event that helped legitimize non-WWE wrestling.
Yes.
And I'm not saying that against WWE. I watch WWE. I enjoy a lot of what they do, but this showed you the alternative. Some of the things they did in All In, I kind of thought was maybe a little overkill, but I also know why they did it. Because, they had a lot of eyes on them. There was a WWE audience, and things like that. So, did we need to see Black Machismo? Not necessarily, because Jay Lethal's so good, but it was fun, and it shows people that aren't familiar with this world, like all this stuff that's been going on for years, So I loved it. It actually inspired me. Like if I were to I want to do like a right or wrong style column talking a lot about All In and the lessons independent creators can learn from All In. Ooh. So yeah, it was I was very impressed. I enjoyed it.
So the other question I wanted to ask you is about Ghost. You've expressed being a big fan of the band Ghost.
I am.
As a matter of fact, I checked them out as a result of you talking about them so much on Facebook.
Okay, yeah.
And I love them now too.
Oh, good.
They're actually right up my alley, and I wish I'd found them sooner.
They're fun, man. They're fun.
Yeah, what is it that you like so much about them?
Oh my gosh, they've developed this whole kind of mythology around the band about the quote-unquote multiple lead singers.
Yeah.
I like their sound. A lot of people are like, well, they're not metal. Like, well, maybe not. They're maybe more hard rock or whatever.
They're
but
more than metal.
Yeah, the mythology that they're creating around the band, the mythology, they're just, I love everything about it. I love their approach. I love their music. I love these storylines. They do these little viral YouTube things with like Papa Nil, the original. There's just the new lead singer every time. The hidden identities within the hidden identities. The fact that Tobias Forge, who now has been outed, I guess, as Papa. He always used to say Papa doesn't give interviews. You could interview one of the nameless ghouls, but it was always him as a nameless ghoul.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, like the old interviews you watch with a ghoul, usually they were him.
Wow.
But you didn't know because you don't get the singer. You know the ghouls. Well, it's him. They're just so much. Oh, it was just so much fun. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it.
I enjoy them too, and thank you for putting me onto them. They're
pleasure.
Awesome.
Promote the positive, man. Promote stuff you like.
Yeah, exactly. And actually, that reminds me, Right or Wrong 2 is coming soon. You've kind of teased it a little bit. I just wanted to really quickly. You said something that kind of got my gears going when you said that soon everyone else would be able to get in on all the fun. And I was wondering if there was something more to that you could share with us in terms of what you meant. Comics Pals exclusive incoming?
Yes, yeah, I know. You guys are real good to me, so, there's a lot of opportunities now for people to directly support the creators they like and support the projects they like and value. And I'm looking forward to the next incarnation of Right or Wrong leading up to the next book being something that we can do very interactively.
Whoa.
There's your exclusive.
That is very cool. And anybody who has read Right or Wrong, loves Right or Wrong, if it helped you in any way, stay tuned to Dirk Manning, because I feel like, based on what he just said, he's about to drop a huge bombshell. So stay tuned.
That's the plan. My birthday is at the end of January, and I always like to give everyone that's connected with me on social media, through my mailing list, a gift on my birthday as a thank you. So I'm hoping for a good gift for everyone this year. So.
I'm very excited. So, as you mentioned, your social media, where can the people find you?
DirkManning.com is my website. Any and all social media at Dirk Manning, all one word. Look for this dapper gentleman. That is not Dastardly Dirk. Scoot did not create this Dirk Manning.
Are you sure?
No, I'm really not. I don't know much of anything anymore. He's like an overlord. But just at Dirk Manning, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or DirkManning.com. Sign up for my newsletter there and get updates there as well.
Fantastic. So, as always, Dirk, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
The nicest man in comics.
Thank you.
Always so good to the Comics Pals. You will see more of us together when we play the new game coming straight from Dirk Manning. We'll have a link to that. I, of course, am Sean Bartley for the Comics Pals. We're here at New York Comic Con 2018. We'll be here the whole weekend interviewing a slew of top-tier talent, so stay tuned for that. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, share with your friends. All that stuff helps us out a lot, and I will see you on the other side. Take care, guys.